Picks. The episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. We make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement of this sports season, whether you're following the NFL, NBA, or both. There's no better time to jump in on the action. If you haven't tried it yet, PrizePicks is the simplest way to play. You just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats, and if you get them right, you win. It takes less than 60 seconds to make your lineup, and you can play anywhere PrizePicks operates, including California, Texas, and Georgia. Download the PrizePicks app today and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNFL for $50 in lineups after you play your first 5. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Bull, you are a resident gambling expert on the show. I don't gamble anymore, but you have been doing very well in your picks for your personal podcast.
Yes.
So I want to give you a shout out to that.
Trying to win the title 2 years in a row.
Yep. You deserve it. We're rooting for you, Bull.
Thank you.
So far this season, the Browns have not been good against the spread.
That is correct.
The line for the Browns this weekend is 8.5 in favor of the Baltimore Ravens. That means the Browns 8.5-point home underdogs. Bull, when you look at this line, do you feel like Vegas got it right? Is giving the Browns too much credit or too little credit?
No, I actually, when I do my post-game shows on Sunday, I always predict what the line's going to be. And I was wrong, and I actually didn't think it would be as high because the Browns are at home. And here's the thing. The Browns have, I don't say this to credit them too much, but because of their defense, they've been in most of their games, especially at home. They're a better team at home. They're more competitive at home. They're not good.
And the defense is better at home.
The defense has been way better at home.
Yeah.
And the Ravens, who obviously are way better with Lamar Jackson, and their defense has improved the last couple of weeks, still, they're not playing great football on the defensive side. They're playing okay on the defensive side.
They're in the bottom 10, I think, in defense.
Right, they're getting better. They've been better, but like they faced Minnesota last week. That's a limited offense right now as well. They don't have a running game, and McCarthy's a rookie essentially. I know technically not. So I actually think I think it's kind of right. Now I said it would be 6.5. It's a little higher than I thought, but I'm hearing people say it should be 11, it should be 12. Nah, as bad as the Browns are, they're at home. They have a very competitive defense. I get it. Their offense stinks, but I'm not expecting listen, I think it could go either way on the 8.5. I think right now, if I had to bet, I'd probably take the Ravens, but I think it's close. I'm leaning towards picking the Ravens to win by, around 10 points, give or take. I don't think it's going to be like a 25-point win. I know, it's easy to say that because they just lost to the Jets last week, and the Jets are bad, but this game's at home. That does matter in the NFL. And so that's a huge underdog at home.
Yeah,
that's a huge
you usually
underdog.
Get 3 for being at home.
Right. So like
Vegas thinks
if this game was in Baltimore,
better.
Even more, because think about it. If you're in Baltimore, that's 6 more points because it's now they get the 3 for half. So now, like, if they were in Baltimore, they'd be a 14.5-point dog.
I don't think it's 3 points for home field advantage anymore.
Not anymore. You're right.
But that's usually a rule. I mean,
whatever.
Start.
Even if it's 2, Mike, that's still.
Yeah, I think it's like 1.5, 2. But you're right.
It's still now 12, 12.5.
Your point stands.
Bro, yeah. So I think it's. Listen, could the Ravens win in a blowout? Certainly they could, but I definitely don't think it's too low.
It's too low.
I think it is too. I got it at 10.
The gravy is coming. The gravy is being poured early for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
This is one of them games where you say, "Oh, the wheels done fell off." See, last week was the punch, right? And you know how you get that delayed punch, and you see somebody get hit with a gut punch in boxing, and they go and they're like, "Oh, that was nothing," and then that liver hit you, and then they go to the one knee. It's a delayed punch right now in the stomach. The Browns,
delayed knockout.
The delayed knockout, and the worst knockout is a body blow because it debilitates you. The Cleveland Browns last week got punched. They lost a nasty game again. That 225. I think teams were 225-0 when they held somebody under 175 yards and didn't have any turnovers.
Right.
The Cleveland Browns lost that football game. The Baltimore Ravens are coming back. Lamar Jackson is hot. Lamar Jackson has been playing well.
Right.
They're going to come in here. And by the way, I would say you were correct about the home field advantage, but it's going to be a lot of orange seats up there.
There'll be a lot of Ravens fans.
They're going to be Ravens fans.
But the Browns have played, for whatever reason, they've played extremely well against Derrick Henry.
Yes.
And Derrick Henry I feel like has finally lost a half a step. Now, I'm not going to say a full step. I think he's now like clearly on the other side of the hill. Not far down the other side of the hill. The numbers are still really good. But I've seen him play. He doesn't look quite the same. He doesn't look like quite as good as he's been in the past.
He's about 5 years
let me make it very clear. He's still really good.
Great.
I'm just saying he's not quite at his
Bull,
peak
your
anymore.
point is well taken. He has not played well
Especially
against
in
the
recent
Browns.
games. He's been
I mean, there
terrible.
was a game a couple of years ago. He
With
might have
the
been still with the Titans. He
Yeah.
had like 12 yards or something.
on like 14 carries.
Yes, it wasn't like it was for lack of trying.
They seem to
pin him
for
up.
whatever reason,
They
play
do.
well against him. And the Browns' strength is their front, their defensive
But
front.
you know what? Like, I think, Mike, correct me if I'm wrong here, I think the Browns in total yardage have the second best defense in the NFL. Is that still the case?
It was going into
Don't
last
check for
week,
1 second.
and so
I
it
haven't
probably
looked
is.
this week. I feel
They've
like
got to be. They didn't give up a lot of yardage.
they gave up 164 yards or
Yeah,
whatever.
right.
I would think they're either 1 or 2 in yards allowed.
Yeah.
In yards allowed, if we're going by just yards per game,
Yeah.
they have they're still in second behind Houston.
Okay. Now
but it's
think about
close.
that for a second, guys. They've given up the second fewest yards in the NFL, and they have 2 wins. Here's what that says.
You know how bad your offense has to be?
Bull, your offense has to be all-time awful,
Yeah.
which ours is, and you also have to have 2 other cracks in your armor. Special teams suck, and you give the ball away a lot. You're giving teams short fields.
Yeah.
I've been following this for a while on the yards yards needed to get a single point. And there's been 2 or 3 times this year where the Browns are allowing like a point for every 6 yards that
Which
they
is
give
insane.
up. That's unbelievable.
The Baltimore game in week 2 was the best example of that one.
Well,
Yeah,
last week,
so
too, had to be
last
pretty.
week
yeah.
was unbelievable.
Yeah.
They gave up 27 points, and they gave up more return yards than
actual
their
yards.
defense allowed
I think-
by 100.
I think the Jets had more points than passing yards in the first half.
It's just,
I mean, like, what's the
abysmal.
odds of that?
So, I think that I keep calling it letting go of the rope. I love your analogy, the delayed knockout.
Yeah.
You get hit in the stomach, you're like, that's not so bad. Then you're like, no, that's really bad. I think that we've seen in the micro, we've seen when the Browns defense lets go of the rope. They're like, oh my God, we've tried everything we could. Our hands are bleeding, and you guys aren't doing anything, so boom, you win. I feel like in the macro, the big picture, the Jets game could be the tipping point.
Yeah.
I was listening to the call on the radio, and normally Nathan Zagura is pretty positive.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
he's state-run media, right?
Yeah.
He was so critical of the offsides.
Yeah. Oh, God.
And in the larger picture, and I agreed with him 100%, he was right on the money. He said, at the end of the game, he said, this feels so much more than just another tough loss. This feels like the tipping point. And I couldn't agree more with him.
By the way,
We had that topic on the Friday show.
What
like 4
does?
weeks in a
By
row.
the way, for state-run media to say that, what does he know
Yeah.
that gives him
Oh, yeah.
confidence
That's
that he
exactly
can
right.
even get that
He's
off?
walking around the halls of the building. He's
Yeah.
seeing things that we can't see. And when he says on the air, this felt more than like just another one of those tough losses.
No.
This felt like a tipping point. I was like, wow. This is
Yeah.
Nathan, who is typically
Yeah.
on the positive side of
yeah, yeah.
everything. But, I mean, after looking at that,
Yeah.
and
It's tough.
everybody knows you're not going to run a play, and you jump off sides.
An all-time dumb play.
All time.
Let's bring in Ross.
We got
Mike.
Ross Tucker, guys. Let's bring in Ross. I got a question I got to ask Ross off